Welcome to Allotment 6, Lyons Lane. So it's June 6th. That's kind of appropriate. June 6th, Allotment 6. And as you can see, the poppies have come up. I started these from seed last year, and I'm super pleased with the colors. There's these beautiful corals and pinks, and they're just really stunning flowers. Last year I didn't get any, so I wasn't sure what colors I was going to get. And you can see the chives beside them. Down here we have potatoes. These are the first earlies. And then across the back, the ones that are a little bit smaller, those are blue potatoes. So yeah, that's exciting. And in front here is my tomato bed. So I have a bunch of heirloom tomatoes. I got my seeds from Baker Creek Seeds. And this year I'm growing Black Prince, True Black Brandywine. We're growing Paul Robinson. So some of these are new to me, but the True Black Brandywine I grew last year, the flavor is incredible. They're amazing tomatoes. Down here is the little bean section. So I have some broad beans, as well as some just regular yellow and green French beans interspersed. So that's our beans. You'll notice amongst the parsley, amongst the tomatoes, I've got a parsley in there. I like to kind of mix stuff in. You know, if there's a spot, why not throw something in there? Over here is my lettuce bed. So I've got some nice red lettuce and green lettuce. So those are just starting to fill in, which is lovely. I'm trying something this year. I haven't grown cucumbers at the garden. Well, I attempted to last year, but they just didn't work out. They didn't latch onto anything, and as a result, they died. This is a different cucumber. Last year I tried growing National Pickling. This year I'm growing Marketmore. And Marketmore doesn't climb up so much. It will, but it's more of a ground one, which you can train up. Whereas National Pickling actually has little tendrils like a pea does, and it needs to grab onto stuff. This is my oregano that comes back year after year. I've already chopped a bunch of it out of there, and I'm drying it at home in anticipation of the tomato harvest, when we will make some tomato and oregano sauces and freeze them up for the winter. The kale plant came back from last year, so it's already flowering. It looks a bit like broccoli, these little flower heads. But they're quite delicious. The leaves are still really tender. It hasn't gotten too hot here. So I've been picking the leaves and taking them home and boiling them up, eating them raw even in salads. They're really quite good. And they taste a bit like broccoli at the moment. Over here, this vile pot of mess grossness is nettles. So I'm making a nettle tea. It really does stink. I've never tried this before, and I've always heard it's got a pretty horrific smell. And it does. It's really true. So continuing on, beside the kales, we have the broccolis. So there are actually broccoli heads forming, which is exciting. There's another one in there, little tiny broccoli head forming. And then these broccolis I just planted out today. They're looking a little wilty, but they will come back. It's because I just transplanted them. So I found last year when I did the broccoli, same thing is happening this year, is you got the one main broccoli head pretty quickly. And then I didn't want to rip the plant out, and I didn't. I got lots of little small ones that were about this size off the plant afterwards. But I don't know. I just thought I'd try something different this year. So I planted out 3, thinking, we'll get the 3 broccoli heads in June. And so now I'm planting out 5 more, thinking we'll get those in July. And potentially I'll plant out some more, and we'll get those in August. So it's sort of a rotational thing. Today I just put in some more onions. You can barely see them, but there are little onion bulbs in there. And then there are carrot seedlings in there. You can see them up at the back. But this particular bed gets this god-awful bindweed in it, and carrots just aren't going to be able to grow in here because I need to keep ripping the bindweed out, which means I'm continuing to rip the carrots out as I do so. So that's why I've decided to go with something more like these broccolis and brassicas, which are bigger. I can rip out the bindweed in and amongst them, and it doesn't seem to affect their roots and stuff as much. More onions. So these smaller onions in 2 rows here, I planted from seed at home. So that's an experiment. And then these onions beside it, I planted from bulbs. And they do look bigger, they look hardier. But it's an experiment. We'll see what happens. Over here in front of us are the blue potatoes. And then around the back, I've started some turnip. You can see 4 rows of turnip in there. On the left-hand side is a purple top classic turnip. And on the right-hand side is what's called a navette turnip. It's all white. It's from France, and it's an heirloom, again, from Baker Creek Seeds. And we'll just turn around here. This is the pea bed. So I've got all kinds of sticks in here for them to hang on to. But they're starting to come up, which is lovely. They're hanging on to stuff. So this is kind of how I do it. It's just a mishmash of sticks. These are willow sticks that I just grabbed from down at the end. This is butterfly milkweed that I started from seed last year. Again, I got the seeds from Baker Creek Seeds. Didn't really do anything last year. Last year I just had sort of one tall stalk. You can see where I chopped it down in the spring. But this year it sent out about 6 stalks off of that main one. And so we're going to get some butterfly milkweed, which is great for the butterflies, obviously. And same thing beside it, I have another butterfly milkweed, and it didn't really do a whole lot last year, but they do come back year after year, and they come back stronger, obviously. So this one's a little bit behind the season, but that's okay. We'll get flowers on that one, and then we'll get flowers on this one, which is always nice. Scoot over to here. This big leafy thing is borage. I planted borage in the garden last year, and it has sort of self-sowed itself all over the place, which I'm letting it do. Borage gets lovely blue flowers, which the bees really like, and they're also edible. You can eat the blue flowers. They say you can eat the leaves as well, but they're a bit furry. It's not my thing, but they do taste like cucumber. So there you go. This is the pea bed. I have popped in some beets. I'm growing a beet called crotopine. It is supposed to be the oldest known beet in the world. It's about 1,000 years old. It's a really, really, really dark red, almost black beet, and apparently the flavor on it is phenomenal. I haven't grown it before, so I'll keep you updated with that. And they are just starting to come in. I'm really not giving you the best visuals here, but there's some of them. So yeah, keep you updated on the crotopine beet. So that's Lyons Lane Allotment number 6 on June 6th. Thanks for tuning in. Bye.